fight fans, you're watching Octagon Control MMA. I'm Dan. Today we're going to be talking about Karl Roberson versus Dalcha Lungiambula. Very hard name to say, so I'll be referring to him as Dalcha for the rest of this video. This is on UFC 256. It's going to be one of the prelim fights. So we're looking at Karl Roberson. He's minus 275, 4-11 to win. Dalcha is 9-4 and plus 225. Alright, so let's start off talking about Karl Roberson's last couple of fights. Okay, his last fight was against Marvin Vettori, who we all saw last weekend in a very, very entertaining display against Jack Hermansson. Great fight, that one. Not a great performance from Karl Roberson on this one from start to finish. First of all, he missed weight by about £5, which I never like to see. He showed a bit of good striking, I guess, at the start, and when he got taken down, he got rolled through. Bit of scrambling, nothing too impressive that he showed though. He got ground and pounded quite a bit. Then Vettori managed to get the rear naked choke, and that was that. So, pretty disappointing loss for Roberson. Vettori though, dominant first round submission win. Okay, his previous fight before that, much better performance. Roman Kopylov, he got the submission in around. Roberson got a round 3 submission win in this one, and again very impressive for a few reasons. First of all, the fight was in Russia. Kopylov, obviously his home country, and a very passionate Russian fan, so the crowd were definitely against him. Kopylov was undefeated at the time. He came in 8-0. So again, impressive to beat an undefeated fighter, especially in the home country. Okay, now on to the actual fight itself. Not the most exciting fight in the first 2 rounds, I'll be very honest. High level striking, but very low paced, very technical, a lot of leg kicks, nothing too outrageous. And then in the third round, the pace really picked up. This was brought on by Kopylov though, who Roberson, despite not doing anything impressive, had definitely outpointed him the first 2 rounds. So Kopylov's corner basically told him you need to go for a finish, and Roberson responded to the pick-up in pace, and we got a very high-paced kickboxing match for the first couple of minutes of round 3. Then Roberson ate a massive eye poke, and they had the doctors in the cage, was blood coming out of his eye. And he did continue after this. Personally, I wouldn't have blamed him if he went off on that one. He had every right to call it a day. They'd already finished 2 rounds, so that would have gone to the scorecards, and he would have definitely won, so good on him for keeping going. He got a great takedown later in that round. He managed to take the back, rear naked choke, bang, Bob's your uncle, there you go. Relatively decent 3rd round finish win for Roberson against Kopylov. Alright, next we're going to talk about Dalcha Lungiambula. Again, I'm going to call him Dalcha, can't get the name right, I'm sorry. Okay, interesting about this guy, he's recently fought a light heavyweight, as he has done for most of his career. I believe this is going to be his first middleweight fight. Most interesting thing about that though, he's 5'8", which, as I'm sure everyone is aware, is very short for light heavyweight and middleweight as well, to be fair. I mean, Kelvin Gastelum's the only other one who comes to mind who's, I think Gastelum's 5'9", so even he's a little bit taller. But despite being 5'8", he's got a 76 reach advantage, which is actually 2 more than Roberson in this fight. So there we go. His last fight was against Muhammad Ankalaev. If anyone remembers him, he's had his 2 fights with Lungiambula this year. Both very impressive knockouts. The first one, obviously, a bit of controversy there, with Lungiambula roped open. So, but at UFC 254 on Fight Island, he showed him that it wasn't a fluke. Great performance win. So, how did Dalcha do in this one? Not great, I'll be honest. His striking is very wild, to say the least, which may complement nicely Karl Roberson's much more technical striking, but he never looked like he was in this one from the start. He was getting outstruck in the first round. In the second round, he got taken down. Ankalaev moved to not side control. He moved to half guard, maintained that, and dropped some heavy ground and pound throughout. And then in round 3, Ankalaev came out, front kick to the face, and then a bit of ground and pound knocked him down with front kick. So, like I say, although it went 3 rounds, and normally the fight goes 3 rounds, I won't bother looking much further back. So I feel like it gives you a good view of the fighter, but Ankalaev may well be making a title run in the next year or two. So I gave him the benefit of the doubt and went on to his fight before that, which was in June of 2019 against Dequan Townsend. Now, he got the round 3 TKO in this one, and yeah, it was okay. It is worth mentioning Dequan Townsend is 0-4 in the UFC, and obviously if everyone's heard Dana at the weekend, 60 fighters getting cut, I imagine Dequan Townsend will be one of these 60 fighters, and we won't be seeing him again anyway. But yeah, he was very explosive in his striking, not the most accurate of strikers. I'm struggling to find a great deal to say about him that's positive, to be honest. I don't think he's UFC material in the nicest way possible, especially against Karl Roberson, who, while not the best record, he is an established UFC middleweight. So, and also I didn't mention just before that with Dalcha moving down from light heavyweight, I don't even know if he'll be able to make weight. He's a very big guy, a lot of muscle mass, not a fat guy by any means, but this will be his first cut to middleweight, and I don't know what sort of preparation he's been doing for that. He hasn't fought since November 19, so maybe he spent a whole year preparing to move to middleweight, but I don't have enough details on that to say anything. He had a decent takedown against Townsend. It was a body lock judo style throw. It was fine. Round 2, he stayed on top of him, did very little. I was very surprised he didn't get stood up. He didn't try and move position. He might have thrown a body punch every 10-20 seconds. Nothing impressive at all. And yeah, round 3 though, to be fair, pretty impressive knockdown punch, and then a bit of ground and pound to finish up. He did get a TKO win, but Dequan Townsend came into, who is a middleweight, a proper middleweight, came into this for his UFC debut on 3 days' notice, and fought up a weight class. I don't know if I've made it clear, but this Dalcha guy, I just don't rate him, unfortunately. Don't get me, I don't like to dislike anyone, and I don't dislike this guy, but I just can't see him winning this fight. So that brings me to what I think is going to happen in this one quite nicely, I guess. I'm going for Karl Roberson, probably by decision. The odds for that haven't came out just yet. Obviously, the odds for the win for both fighters is up on the screen now. I can't really see Karl Roberson getting a finish on this one. I don't think he'll want to go to the ground where he does have 4 submissions, because Dalcha has shown some proficiency on the ground, especially with holding position, if not advancing or doing much damage. So I think it's going to come to a case of Karl Roberson's technical kickboxing versus Dalcha's wild aggressive striking, maybe thrown in with some judo throws, but I think Roberson's got the takedown defence that it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Yeah, so Karl Roberson to win, probably by decision. That's going to be my bet for this one. Alright, fight fans, that'll do us for today. You're watching Octagon Control MMA. I've been Dan. Please feel free to like and subscribe. My Instagram will be coming up on the screen now. Hope everyone has a great evening, and I'll see you all tomorrow.